Yo, shout out to everybody here already in the building. I see my boy Stay Solid. Salute, King. Salute. My boy Austin O is in the building. Ricky, Barrio, Manny Raider, 818. What is good, man? I got my nephew Jaden in the building. Oh, that's my son. Look at my son in the building, man. What's up? I got a son named Jaden, and I have a nephew named Jaden. So it's hilarious. Shout out to my son in the building. But man, I want to talk about it, you guys. Look, we all know that Josh Jacobs is entering free agency if we do not place this tag on him, right? We do know $10 million, a little over $10 million to bring him in, right, on a one-year deal, and then potentially play with extending him during the regular season, right? We also know that we went out and drafted Zamir White out of Georgia, last year's draft. Also went and got Britton Brown out of UCLA in the 7th round. But we also got a guy that I've been speaking highly about for a long time now. His name is Sanjit McCormick, a UDFA out of, I believe, Texas, San Antonio. This is a guy that I'm really big on his game. If you guys have not checked out any of his tape, please go to YouTube. I mean, anywhere you can find any type of tape on Sanjit McCormick, I promise you, this dude passes the eye test. The guy is a dog. A lot of people don't like his size. He's 5'9", but I'm telling you, this guy is a bowling ball. Man, can get it done in the passing game as well. Hasn't had to do that a lot in college, but he can get it done at the next level in the passing game as well. I'm going to read some stats here in a second, some pro comps, talk about some things real quick. Shout out to Sean Johnson, my boy Leon in the building. Yes, this is Sanjit McCormick, the guy that was placed on the IR before the season started. When it had happened, right, I was one of them people, a firm believer in thinking that this regime kind of redshirted him. You know what I mean? Kind of put him on the IR to stash him away so no one can steal him off of our practice squad. It did come out later on that he did have an injury. I kind of watched Sanjit McCormick on his journey on Instagram and his stories and all that good stuff coming back from the injury. You know what I mean? But this dude is solid. And I know a lot of guys tend to go off of the whole, he's a UDFA, you know what I mean? You can't expect that guy to be the workhorse for us at the next level. Well, you know what? I came up with a list, you guys, of running backs that have been there and done that before as UDFAs. For those who don't know, as of recent, James Robinson from Jacksonville, year one, played in 14 games, had over 1,000 yards rushing. Dominique Rhodes, Indianapolis Colts, rookie season, played 15 games, had 1,100 yards rushing. Philip Lindsay, Denver, had over 1,000 yards his rookie season. I mean, you can go down a long list. There's LeGarrette Blount, had over 1,000 yards in 13 games in his rookie season as a UDFA. There is always guys that come out as UDFAs that perform at a high level. So we can't look at this as a situation of, oh, you know, he's a UDFA. Because I already seen a few people already reaching out to me on Instagram talking about you can't expect a UDFA to be a guy that can take, you know, that can take hold of that running back spot. Well, why not? I mean, it happens year in and year out at the linebacker position. It happens year in and year out at the cornerback position. It happens a lot. Real quick, shout out to Chris. He says, ask Wasted if he's still you stupid, Chris. Shout out to my dog, Chris, man. Shout out to my boy, Chris. But I have to talk about this, all right? So look, Sanjit McCormick, 5'9", 205 pounds. Like I said, a lot of people question his size. The guy is great off of contact. I'm telling you now, type of dude to get hit, bounce off, and take it for 10 to 15 yards. The guy is great after contact. I'm telling you this now. 3rd team All-American in 2021, 2-time Conference USA Offensive Player in the Year in 2020 and 2021, 2-time first team All-Conference USA in 2020, 2021, and also Conference USA Rookie of the Year his freshman year in 2019. A lot of people also tend to say, well, this guy went to a smaller school. You know, he didn't play against high elite level. Why was there other schools that didn't come out to get him? Well, there was other schools that actually looked at him to come in. Syracuse, Colorado, The list goes on, but he chose to go to Texas, San Antonio, because it was local, near his home, and that's why he chose to go there. So I want you guys to understand this. This guy had offers from other schools, you know what I'm saying, powerhouse schools, Syracuse in Colorado. So there you have it. 205.9, short and stocky, yes, but he is a dog. Let me read some of these stats, you guys. Freshman year, in 12 games, 177 attempts. He had 983 yards rushing, 8 TDs, 194 receiving yards in the air and a TD. That's his freshman year. Sophomore year, 11 games. He had 1,467 rushing yards. Also had 131 yards in the air. And then last season, well, you know what? I'm sorry. In 2020, he had 11 total TDs as well. In 2021, last season, not last season because he was on the IR with us, but his last season in college, in 13 games on 298 attempts, he had 1,479 yards on the ground with an average of 5 yards per carry, 15 TDs on the ground. I'm telling y'all now, this guy is a dog. Yes, he was placed on the injured reserve, but once again, I'm telling y'all now, keep an eye on this guy. If we do not bring Josh Jacobs back, I know that this regime is mulling the idea of having to let Josh Jacobs walk, but at the end of the day, that is a lot of money to put towards a running back that I believe will be 25 years old here shortly. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a short shelf life as a running back, you guys, and I do believe that we may potentially have one of those guys on our roster. And he did sign a 3-year deal with us as a UDFA as well. I believe his contract is somewhere between $2 and $3 million for those 3 years. 1 year is already up. He was placed on the IR his rookie season, but he has 2 years left remaining on his contract as a UDFA. And it's really, really cheap. So there you have it. Derek, I get it, but 25 in today's NFL, look, man, Josh has already dealt with a lot of bumps and bruises. You know what I mean? His rib injury. I mean, the list goes on. Year in and year out, Josh is beat up. Last year, he played through it. The year before, he played through it. But at some point, all that damage catches up to you. I'm not saying that Josh Jacobs can't play through it. I think he will. I mean, he proved it last season, returning, after dealing with all those injuries already this year, this young in his career, and coming in to be the leading rusher in the NFL last season. I still believe we should bring Josh Jacobs back, you guys. I'm just saying this. It's very hard to think about paying a running back over $10 million in today's NFL, especially when you're paying the likes of Hunter Renfrow, I think $13 million, Darren Waller, a crazy amount of money, Devontae Adams, crazy amount of money. You know what I mean? This is the season, right, where say you do bring Stidham in on a cheap contract, or you have a young guy, you know what I'm saying, that comes in on an inexpensive contract, right? A rookie, Stidham, whatever. This is the year to go all in on your defense. Go all in on the defensive side of the ball, man. You know what I mean? And just like I said, allocating $10+ million to a running back, that is very, very tough. Shout out to Sean. We can definitely do this. The non-exclusive tag, another team has to give us 2 first-rounders, which they would not. They would not do that. They would not do that at all. No team is giving that to us for Josh Jacobs. But at the end of the day, if you put the tag on him, you are still paying him over $10 million to come in for 1 more year. Mind you, we do have the money, but this is another year where I do not want to hear people crying about this defense. You know what I mean? There's been so much money put towards this offense. It is time to start allocating a lot of that towards the defensive side of the ball. Real quick, shout out to my dog, Jason Marshall, man. Appreciate you, King. What's up, Docs? I don't see a whole lot of teams needing a running back. Having a team overpay Raiders for Jacobs is going to be hard. Jacobs would be stupid to leave Adams and McDaniels. I think so as well. And like I said before, Jason, we spoke to him at Pro Bowl weekend at Allegiant Stadium. He wants to be a Raider. He definitely wants to return. He wants to retire a Raider, but he also wants his bag. He knows what this the shelf life for a running back in the NFL. He knows it all too well. Shout out to my dog Jason, man. I appreciate you, King. Yes, and that's another thing that I wanted to say about this situation as well, AD. Zeke knows. He is very smart. He knows if he allows Josh Jacobs to walk, we will get a comp pick, the following season. And I don't know what that's going to look like, whether, he's a former first round pick. That could be a second, third round pick. I don't know what we get, but Zeke definitely does cherish those draft picks. And it is easy as hell in today's football to find another running back if you needed to next season in the second or third round. I mean, shit, you could find one this year if you don't believe in Sincere McCormick or you don't believe in Zamir White. Let me see. Shout out to Tito. Bring Stiddy back. Draft a QB in the second round. Go hard on the D. Super pause. Super pause. Shout out to my dog. No, it is. DeMarcus, this is facts. I want to bring Josh Jacobs back. This is not me, you guys, saying let Josh Jacobs walk. This is me stating just an honest assessment of the situation, which is it is very, very difficult to swallow that pill of paying a running back, that kind of money when you have so many holes on the defensive side of the ball, and you may potentially have a few holes on the offensive line. If you do move Parham to center, then you may have to fill in 2 guard spots. You may have to fill in a tackle spot if we don't bring Jermaine Illuminor back. There's just so many situations. We're probably going to have to get another backup tight end. I don't think we're going to bring back Foster Moreau. Waller's our starter, but who's to say Jesper Horsted doesn't move on as well? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many holes that we need to fill that is very, very tough to swallow, to swallow that pill of $10+ million to a running back, even if you are the number 1 running back statistically coming off of that kind of season he had last year. Zamir and the others may be good, but we won't know until they get their chance. Yeah, and Zamir looked pedestrian, Hardy, at best in limited fashion, right? There was a few plays where he broke off for a nice chunk of change, and then there was other ones where I'm like, damn, he just kind of ran right into his guard. He ran right into the tackle, like he ran right into his offensive lineman, which he was a rookie. You expect that. You definitely expect that. There's going to be some bumps and bruises. But for him not to get more burn last season kind of spoke volumes to me in where he is and who he may be in the NFL. You know what I mean? Josh Jacobs had to he had to be that workhorse last season for us. And, like I said before, in limited fashion, Zamir White didn't really get it done. Let me see. They talk about sustained success. Well, it's time to see this through. This is facts, Leon. It's facts. As much as motherfuckers may want to bring out the pitchforks, you guys, if we allow Josh Jacobs to walk, you have to understand this. It is a business decision. And at the end of the day, if you feel you can fill that hole in with someone you already have on a roster and move forward and spend potentially $10+ million on another need, whether it's a linebacker, a corner, you have to think about it. You at least have to sit back and say, man, we may have to choose another position on the defensive side of the ball over the running back spot. It is what it is. Shout out to my boy Disco, man. Appreciate you. Hey, Graphk, love the content and knowledge you bring to the table. Keep it up for the nation. Agreed that we need to build a defense. Hopefully the team brass will give Mad Max some help. He can't do this alone. Factory, my brother. And shout out to you, Disco, on the dub piece and the kind words, my brother. I appreciate you so much. And yes, Max needs as much help as he can on the defensive side of the ball. This is facts. Let me see. Shout out to Classic Man Q. Don't sleep on Britton Brown if Josh was to leave. That's another guy. I love the measurables. I love what he did at UCLA. We didn't see him really at all last season. I want to see what he can get done too. Former 7th rounder out of UCLA. Definitely. Shout out to Big Mike. I think because of the uncertainty at quarterback, it's important that we keep our offensive pieces together for a youngster to help him ease into the offense. I agree, Big Mike. I definitely agree. $12.8 million annual market value is worth it. I agree. I just, man, that's almost $13 million, Big Mike. That's tough, man, to annually pay Josh Jacobs. It is, man. It's very, very tough. If you put the franchise on him for one more season and you can double back, I get that. The $10 million, I can eat that if necessary, but that's just a lot of money. But Big Mike, you're right, though. You are definitely right, man. Shout out to my boy Maul, as always, King. Appreciate you, brother. Losing Carr and Jacobs in one off season, the nation will riot outside of Raiders headquarters. Hey, man, like I said, man, at the end of the day, it's a business. We've seen our Raiders get rid of Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper back to back. We've seen this happen before. You know what I mean? Like it's It's a business. We got to get used to it. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely agree, Mo. I think the pitchforks will be out if we do not pay Josh Jacobs. But once again, you have to remember who's in charge. You know what I mean? These guys come from a system in New England where it's running back by committee. There's no reason to overpay a running back to bring him back, even if he's coming off a huge season. Look at New England, man, on the defensive side of the ball. These guys have corners, even though it's a system. It's a system, right? They ball out, get these huge contracts, go to another team, and then just shit the bed. You know what I mean? So, and this is even more expendable position, the running back spot from a cornerback position. So, you know. Let me see. I'm banking on it that we will do well in the draft to fill defensive holes. It's definitely a dilemma. Yeah, Big Mike, it definitely is, man, especially when you have so many running backs still on your roster at this point. You know what I mean? You still got Brandon Bolden, I believe, on one more year. You know what I mean? You have Britton Brown on a rookie deal, Sincere McCormick on a rookie deal, Zamir Wright on a rookie deal. In a perfect world, you utilize all those rookie deals and you move on from the huge deal and get what you can out of these guys. Shout out to Mondu, man. Appreciate you, bro. Love Josh, but when he was healthy 1 year. But if he was just wanting to get paid, I don't think so. Trade Renfro, pay Josh, trade for Ramsey. At this point, Mondu, you can't trade for Ramsey. That contract is so astronomical, bro. It's too much. What you're banking on is the Rams cutting him, moving on from him, and just bringing him in and bringing him on in free agency, because there was two teams that he spoke about wanting to be a part of. It was us and the Titans, because I do believe he's from the Nashville area, somewhere in Tennessee, but they are literally blowing it up over there in Tennessee. So I cannot see him wanting to be a Titan. In a perfect world, the Rams let him go, and he comes over here in free agency. We give him a modest deal, and he comes in and he's cornerback one. Shout out to my dog, bro. Shout out to my boy Mondu, man. Let me see. I think we need to bring Jacobs back. But if we put the non-exclusive tag on him and we can get 2 first-rounders for him, if someone signs him, I would be happy with that. John C., look, forget happy. I would be ecstatic if we can get 2 first-rounders for Josh Jacobs. But it's not going to happen. Any team that is willing to do that, their GM is asking to get fired. I love Josh Jacobs. He is a game changer, but he's not a player that you're going to bring in for 2 first-round picks. That is insane. That is insane. I don't care what kind of season he had last year. That is very rough. Think about this, John. We give up a first and a second for Devontae Adams. Think about that. So if a team gave up 2 first-rounders for Josh Jacobs, they are smoking dick and dynamite. Shout out to my boy John Cito. Appreciate you, King. Let me see. Salty Cracker. Hondo be writing some funny things, but it gets him clicks. He says 5% we get Rodgers. I say 90% he's a puff piece writer. Well, we're trying to get him on here on the show, Salty, here soon. So if we get him on, man, get your questions together. He's actually waiting for approval from the up and ups at his job, and we'll see if we can get him on. You can ask him some questions, man. Let me see. But yeah, there's some more things, man. Where was it at with Sincere that I took a lot of notes. Let me see. As a junior in 2021, he rushed for 1,479 yards, 5th best among all Division FBS players. After carrying 42 times for 184 yards and 3 touchdowns against Memphis, he was named National Player of the Week. He also helped lead the 2021 UTSA Roadrunners football team to a 12-1 record in the 2021 Conference USA Football Championship game. McCormick was named the most valuable player after rushing for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns on 36 carries. He ran the ball 36 times in his bowl game. That's crazy. That is crazy. That lets you know, man. The man is a bail. He's a bail. He's a workhorse bail back. I think that's how you say it. Let me see. Shout out to Maul. I really got to watch Sincere, bro. You swear by him. Let me check his film. Do, bro. Please do. He does remind me, and this may sound crazy because the measurables, but he does. He's a bowling ball, man. He kind of gives me that Marshawn Lynch kind of esque kind of play, and he's not Marshawn by any stretch, you guys. I'm not trying to compare him completely to a future Hall of Fame running back, but I'm saying this: he has that Marshawn Lynch kind of game to him, and at the next level, I do believe he can get it done in the passing game as well. He's a very competent receiving running back as well. I won't be mad if we trade up and get Jalen Carter. That would be our game changer on defense. Bro, that would be more than a game changer. That is the future at the defensive tackle spot for years to come. This is facts, bro. Shout out to Frank White. Bring Jacobs back. He earned a new contract. We're drafted a QB in the first. He'll need a veteran running back like Josh. I agree, bro. I definitely agree with you. I'm just kind of giving both sides of the spectrum because we've seen weirder things happen. We just watched DC get cut, then move on. I would not be shocked if the same thing happened with Josh Jacobs. Elite. He is a very competent pass blocker as well. He can get it done. He's a very competent blocker as well. Yes. Not going to say he's the greatest blocking running back, but he definitely is competent when it comes to pass blocking. Definitely. That's another part of his game that is very, very underappreciated. Elite, check his tape out. I'm telling you, check his tape out. Like his stats, you look at him and you're like, the passing game, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, if you look at the tape, you can tell he can get it done in all aspects. He definitely can. Rube, this is facts, bro. Fire comparison. He reminds me of Dameon Pierce, the running back for the Texans, but uses his vision and agility instead of making his own hole like Pierce. Talk that shit, Rube. There you have it. Rube with a haymaker. Rube with a haymaker. Shout out to my dog, Rube, man. Shout out to my boy Sultan in the building. Yeah, Maul, he definitely was, bro. And I know what you mean by that. For those who don't know what he means by Trent Richardson 2.0, there was no vision at all. No vision. He was just running into his offense. He was running into his offensive line over and over and over, consistently running into his line. Yeah, he definitely does pick up those blitz. Facts. I don't think he's going anywhere either, Black Sales. Shout out to my dog, Black Sales. I don't think he's going anywhere either. But I'm just saying, if we do decide on moving on, I think this regime does know what they have with this UDFA. What is the minimum, you guys, of contracts that you can sign UDFAs to? Isn't it like I want to look that up. How many years do UDFAs? Let me see. Okay, so most UDFAs get a 3-year deal. Most of them get a 3-year deal. So he got the same type of treatment, but he was placed on the IR year 1, so he does have 2 years left on his rookie deal. But he's on a 3-year deal. So mind you guys, we have a guy that will potentially, if he does get some burn, say we move on from Josh, you're paying a guy $1 million a season for the next 2 years. Think about that. Because I believe he has like $2 million not even that. I think he has less than $2 million left on his deal. Jason says, White is taking lessons from the best vision in the game. Jacobs, give him time. I'm not over the Zamir White experience yet. Trust me, I'm not, Jay. I'm not. You know what I mean? I've not given up on him yet. When you look at the tape, I see more out of Sincere McCormick than I do with Zamir White. I do. Let me see. Minimum for UDFA is 2 years, I think. Orlando says, okay, I understand that we have 2 ex-New England coach and front office workers, but this isn't New England. I think they will bring Josh Jacobs back. I think they will too. I think they know how much he means to this franchise, how much he means to this organization, to the fan base. I do truly believe that they will bring him back. They know how much, of an asset he is to this team. He kind of put this team on his back offensively this year outside of Devontae Adams. You know what I mean? So I understand it. This, you guys, once again, I repeat, this is not me doing a video saying that we are going to move on from Josh Jacobs. This is just a video stating that if we do decide on moving on from Josh Jacobs, we may potentially have his replacement already on the roster. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? And it may not be Zamir or it may not be Britton Brown. It may be UDFA, Sincere McCormick out of Texas, San Antonio. Danny, facts, bro. McCormick is a dog, bro. He's a dog. White can't be a workhorse with no vision, but doesn't mean he isn't a good rotational piece. Exactly. Both needed a back like Zeus last year in short yardage. Facts. And it's funny that you brought the Bolts up too. That's another guy that I did not mention as a UDFA. People don't understand, Rube, that Austin Eckler is a UDFA. He was a UDFA. And now he's the workhorse guy for the Chargers. He's their number one running back, right? Austin Eckler is another UDFA that is very successful at the next level. Shout out to Big Mike. It is definitely worth talking the possibility of us moving on from Josh and exploring options in the youngsters. Fire topic, bro. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Maybe that's something we can write about over at Planet Raiders. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Shout out to my dog Van City in the building, man. My boy Van City is in the building. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. Yes, Carlos, McCormick is already on our team. He's already on the roster. You know, he dealt with the injury before the season started last season, was placed on the IR, and missed the entire season. I like that, Elite. UDFAs are gems because they're picked up by the case of need. I like that. And think about what you just said, right? We had Josh Jacobs. At that point, we went and got Amir Abdullah. We went and got Brandon Bolden. Then we had Zamir and Britton Brown both drafted ahead of Sincere McCormick. So to think that that potentially was still a need speaks volumes, man. Shout out to Elite. Disco, I got you. I'll definitely shoot a video. I'm working on the nose ring, y'all. Nose ring, no booger, nose ring. I'm working on getting the Wi-Fi and everything working in the garage. I will be returning back to the garage shortly. So you'll see the man cave and all that good stuff. But I will definitely shoot a video, my brother, and I will definitely put it up on the channel. I'll do it short and I'll show the whole cave. Shout out to BSRR. Would you feel comfortable going into the season with McCormick as running back one with no professional experience? That's if this regime is, I'm cool with it because, let's just be real. Josh McDaniels has had some pretty good success with running backs in the past. So if they're comfortable with them, I'm comfortable with them. But this is me stating that maybe, if we move on from Josh, I think McCormick will be a guy that's fighting for that number one spot. Between him, Zamir, Britton, and maybe another guy that we bring in this season. But I don't know. He still has not played it down in the NFL. So I don't know who he's going to be at the next level. I'm just going off of the tape that I have watched from him out of college, 34. And I love what I've seen thus far. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going off of that. But I do not know if he's ready to be that running back one at the next level yet. Who's to say? Yeah, we have 2 years left with him on our, on his deal. Maybe he's a practice squad guy going into this season, or maybe he makes the active roster. We shall see. Running backs is one of the easier transitions from college to the NFL. Mo, I agree. Shout out to Elite. He calls a good running game. I like his blocking schemes. A lot of traps and pulls. Talk that shit, my brother. Let me see. Well, ride or die, you're not going to have to pick. Because I think Deron Payne's going to be franchise tagged. Priest Holmes, another very successful UDFA. Yep. Hey, another one, Salty. Arian Foster, another guy that was a UDFA running back that had a hell of a career in the NFL. There you have it. He may be a weirdo now in real life, but hey, the dude was on. He was on one with the Texans and with the Jets too, right? Shout out to Rube. If we move on from JJ, cut Bolden, still leaves room to bring in another young guy in the draft for the fourth back. Brown, Zeus, Sincere, plus draft someone will rise to be a star. Talk that shit, my brother. This is facts, Rube. And I like a lot of these running backs in this upcoming draft. I do. There probably will be some sneaky guys there at the end of the draft that you could potentially bring in. You know what I mean? A sneaky guy like a Sincere McCormick or a Britton Brown, a later round or UDFA type guys. White Puma, Docs, would you trade number 7 and Waller? Oh, yeah, definitely. But the Bears wouldn't. They wouldn't do that. But I definitely would. Easy. Clear cut. I wouldn't even think about it. I thought they'd be look, at that point, I thought that Chicago would be trolling if they made that call. Shout out to Anthony. He said he's going to be at WrestleMania. That's what's up, bro. Have fun, King. Not a running back, but Wes Welker, probably the most successful UDFA ever. Talk that shit, bro. Definitely one of them. Jason, that's not going to happen. I think the Bears are going to pay astronomical amounts of money to bring in Saquon Barkley. I think he will be a Chicago Bear. I think they're going to bring it. I think they're going to put everything they can around Justin Fields to help build. They got Claypool. They got Darnell Mooney. They have Cole Kmet. They may go all in. I think David Montgomery's a free agent too, if I'm not mistaken. I think they may go all in on Saquon Barkley. Let me see. I'm excited by McCormick like I was excited. I know, Paul. A lot of people are going to go back to the Chris Warren debate, but let's just say this. McCormick has not been a preseason All-Pro yet. So let's hold our horses a little bit, brother. For those who don't remember, Chris Warren was like an All-Pro preseason player and then just disappeared. Shout out to Mondu, man. How would you feel about if we drafted AR-15 at number 7? I'd be pissed. Look, I like AR-15. I like his game. Me personally, I'm one of them people that's not sold on him getting it right at the next level. I'm not one of those guys. He has to show me, man. I watched his tape. He has all the measurables. He has the fucking crazy cannon of an arm, but he worries me with just accuracy. You know, I've seen him struggle throwing 10-yard passes, but throwing 70-yard dimes type shit. I just don't know who he is at the next level. I don't. You know what I mean? So I don't want AR-15 at 7. I would rather trade back and get Hendon Hooker out of Tennessee. Let me see. Yeah, Mo. I don't know why people aren't seeing this, bro. I mean, hey, I'm gonna let the guys that do this for a living evaluate our AR-15 the way they do, and if they want to bring them into one of their teams, be my guest. I'm just going off what I have seen. And me personally, I'm not sold on him at all. DeMarcus said Warren ate his way out of the league. This is facts, bro. Facts plus tax. 2 different players. Dom, 2 different players, bro. I see total difference in Will Levis that I do AR-15. I do, bro. I do. Let me see. Here's my concern. A fat Saquon contract before Jacobs gets his. Now we're realistically looking at moving on because of the possible rise in the market value. And that's another reason why I'm doing this live right now. Real talk, bro. What did he turn down, Big Mike? Didn't they say that Saquon Barkley turned down like a $14 million a year deal, or was it 16 million? Or is he asking for 16? I forgot what it was. It was somewhere around that 14 to 16 million dollars that he was looking at. Josh Jacobs is definitely sitting back looking at Saquon Barkley and saying, well, I've been way more durable than him. I mean, he's not a dual threat completely like Saquon Barkley. He can get it done in the passing game and the rushing game. But he's watching him and saying, oh, yeah. The only way you can make this work is if you franchise Josh. That's it. And then you work on the extension. That's it. If you tag him, the 1 year, 10 million, I can eat that. I'm cool with that. But that 14 a year or 13, that's just a lot of money to ask for. Yeah, he's asking for 16. That is crazy, bro. Maul, yes. A lot of those plays were terrible. He didn't really have a lot around him. He didn't have a lot around him. Campbell, look, I'm one of them people. I agree, bro. I'm not in the business of paying running backs. I know that's why a lot of these guys hate me. Jalen Richard, shout out to Jalen Richard, unfollowed me on IG because I said, you're paying him $3 million to be the 3rd best running back on your team at the time. It's not worth it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not paying that. I'm not like, and for 10 plus million for Josh or possibly 12.4 to 12.8 a year. That is very, very, I can't do that. Just me. And who am I? You know what I mean? I'm just a content creator. I'm not the GM. I'm not somebody that's in charge of Josh's, contract. But I'm not doing that. I'm just not. I'm not. AD, I'm a huge fan of Tony Pollard. Living in Dallas, watching him firsthand, huge fan of him. But he is coming off that torn ACL, I believe. Or what was it? I forgot what it was. But that's a tough injury to come back from. I like Tony Pollard. I think he's explosive. I think that Dallas is going to want to bring him back over Zeke. I think Zeke is done at this point. I think he's low-key cooked. He played injured last year, all year. This is, once again, look at Zeke, you guys. As Raider fans, we have to look at Dallas and look at the Zeke situation. You have to. You have to. Broken femur. There you go, AD. Broken femur. Bruh, that's tough. That is tough. I think Miles Sanders is going to get cashed out, AD, by someone, whether it's Miami. I don't know. Keep an eye on maybe Buffalo, even though they just drafted James Cook. There's some other teams that may look at bringing in Miles Sanders. Classic, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man. Hey, Will Levis is a dog, bro. Shout out to my boy Classic, man. Q, as always. That's my dog. Will Levis is my guy, bro. Zeke is another guy that damn near ate his way out of the league. This is facts, bro. Jacobs is a smart man. If you give Saquon 16, Jacobs has to ask for 16.1. Regardless if he realistically gets that or not, durability is the name of the game. There you go, bro. Factory outlet, my brother. Facts, Big Mike. And that is what's so scary about this situation. That's why you either franchise him or you let him walk and you get the comp pick the following season. Simple and plain. But it'd be very, very tough, you guys. This is another reason why I do not believe Josh Jacobs will just be let go and allow him to walk, is because could you imagine losing him and Derek Carr in one off season and getting nothing in return for either one of them? That is a very, very tough pill to swallow. This new regime probably couldn't. They probably can never recover from that. Shout out to my son. He said, I sub to you, daddy. Shout out to my son. Love you, son. Shout out to Rube. Check out Kaz Allen from UCLA. I was just looking at him. Previously, Rube, I did a live earlier this morning, and people were telling me about him. And I definitely went and kind of checked him out. Didn't really play that much this past season in UCLA, but I guess they were saying they're blaming that on Chip Kelly, not really putting him out there, but he can be a nice punt/kick returner. Combine invite would have been one of the fastest, if not the fastest wide receiver. Going to be an all-pro return, man. Definitely keeping an eye on him. Definitely. Leon said, pause. Nah, that's my son, man. You could pause him too, though. Nobody gets away from the pause game. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. Let me see. Elite, you were telling me about him. Yep. That's my fam. He'll be a UDFA gym. Eddie says Christian Gonzalez is mandatory. Another guy out of Oregon that I definitely like at the cornerback position. James, I'm starting to see a lot more. Was it Tajay Spears? Definitely starting to see more of his name. I'm going to do some more homework on him. The combine is next week. So I'm definitely going to be doing some more homework on a lot of these names. But I am familiar with him. I just haven't watched too much of him on tape. Let me see. Check out Lou Nichols. Okay, Rocket Steady, I got you. Let me see. If we aren't going QB at 7, Witherspoon has to be the guy. Man, bro, it'd be hard for me to take a corner out of Syracuse or Illinois at 7, man. I do like Devin Witherspoon a lot. In a perfect world, AD, you can trade back to the middle of the first round, pick up some more draft capital, and still get him. But yeah, man, I just wanted to do a quick video on Sincere McCormick. Before we get out of here, you guys, I know a lot of you guys do not really know who he is, familiar with his work, but I will read off some of his stats in college. Had a very successful collegiate career, 4,438 yards, all purpose, 3,929 on the ground, 509 receiving. The guy is a dog, you guys. I'm telling you, man. I mean, this is 35 TDs from scrimmage. The guy's a dog. I know, once again, a lot of people are going to say, oh, Texas, San Antonio, small conference, blah, blah, blah. The guy did have an opportunity to go to Syracuse, to Colorado, amongst a few other schools, but he did choose to stay near home. I believe he's from a small part of Texas. It's called like Converse, Texas or something. So he chose to stay where he was. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you guys do me a favor. Homework time. The next live we do, I want you guys to go check out some tape on Sincere McCormick. On the next live, I want you guys to flood the comment section and let me know what you think of our UDFA gym running back, Sincere McCormick, out of Texas, San Antonio. You already know what it is, man. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. OakLosVegas.com, PlanetRaiders.com. Go also subscribe to Planet Raiders Network on YouTube. We are definitely going to start uploading content like crazy over there. Once again, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm outro, man. One.